Good morning, Manila Hotel in Clonmel, Ireland.
Hi, Mom and Dad, Kathy, Aaron, Ann, and Ann, and John.
Waterford. So you've almost been in the 6 counties of Munster. And again, I said to you yesterday evening, this is my favourite hotel. My idea on that hasn't changed. Now we're heading out of this town. This is an important town, some guidance. That name in America.
Hello, Steve. How are you?
Medical
Having a good
devices.
time?
You have a great time.
They
Always
are
have a great
located
time
here.
on your trips.
In fact, I have a niece who
Good,
works
we
here.
like having you with us.
She commutes quite a distance, commutes from Limerick 3 days a week. 1600s. So was Blake's Castle. You probably have all this forgotten.
Of the weavers. So there's a tribute to everybody that makes your clothes.
Fever was in the air, leaves were black that once were green, and death was everywhere. There is no need to recount how families, when all was eaten and no hope left, took their last look at the sun and built up their cottage doors so that none might see them die or hear them groan, and were found afterwards skeletons in their own hearth. How miserable wretches were transported for stealing vegetables by night. How in each one of those years, 1845, 1846, 1847, Ireland was exporting to Britain food to the value of £15 million sterling, and had on her own soil at each harvest good provision for double the population, notwithstanding the potato blight.
We stopped for about 45 minutes in Kilkenny for people to enjoy the Kilkenny Castle Park and some of the restaurants and to use the restrooms before we leave this castle and head on along our way. My mom and dad both became Christians, and they joined Joy Road Baptist Church. And I was born a year later, and we never missed church. We never missed Sunday school. We never missed Wednesday night prayer meetings and Sunday night hymn singing and vacation Bible school in the summer. And my mom and dad taught me to love the Bible. That's one of the things they wanted us to know. By their works and not by faith alone. They have tradition. We have the Bible. What is he doing? So we decided that we would confront him, but I wanted to prepare myself first. I couldn't go to the Bible to argue with him because Al knew the Bible as well as I did. But what if I went to the very first Christians and found out what they taught and practiced? And once I proved to Al that the very first Christians were good Protestants, that they only got corrupted with Catholic stuff in the Middle Ages, then Al would have to recognize that he was part of a church that was man-made traditions and leaving the clear, pristine Protestantism of the first century. A rebel in a way. But anyway, so as we were tackling all these different issues, we went on New Year's Eve to some friends of ours that lived in Saline, Michigan, Milan, Michigan. Here's the way most people picture Ireland. Foggy and raining and green. Well, it sure is. But it's been sunny for us all along. This has been unusual, but this is how people perceive Ireland. Really marvelous lunch here in Glendalough before we went into the museum and we saw the movie about these monastic sites. So I hope you enjoy this.
It is a felicitous combination of all aspects of an early Irish monastery. Yet Glendalough is only one of many such Irish foundations which stood out in the storm-tossed culture of 5th century Europe.
Well, we've had perfect weather up till now, but we're going to go along the Wicklow trails through this monastic site of Glendalough and a beautiful river. You can see why the monks would want to come out here to build monasteries.
Stormed the settlement as marauders, and there are two recorded attacks here by Vikings.
These are the Irish high towers, round towers the monks built. For bringing of bells and watching for
There's
enemies.
also evidence to show that local chieftains, that not all of the Irish immediately converted to Christianity, they would also have attacked these types of sites, again for, to take any valuable items they could lay their hands on. It's an interesting structure. It's about 30 meters or 100 foot high, and inside there were 6 floors, all wooden floors, all decayed over time. You would have been able to access one floor from another by means of a ladder, and each of the floors, believe it or not, would have had a window. Again, difficult to appreciate.
We're arriving now at the Church of St. Kevin's for Mass, this historical site, and this great priest and saint. clenched his fists, and veins popped out in his red face and neck, and he said, "You must be excellent and even be thinking about these things." And I couldn't bear the thought that I was grieving my father, because I already told you what a marvelous father he was. So I sat down to write a letter to my dad, and the letter started out, "Dear Dad, you're the best father in the world, and I owe you an explanation." And I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and it became my book, Crossing the Tiber. I was never going to write a book called Crossing the Tiber. It was a letter to my mom and dad. It's a love letter. When somebody reads Crossing the Tiber, they're reading a love letter I sent to my mom and dad. Well, I had just finished writing the majority of that letter when Cindy and Jesse said they were not going to join the church with me. So I said, "Cindy, I just wrote Grandpa a letter. Would you do me a favor and proofread it for me?" I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid.
Amen, brother. Good idea.
And they took that letter up. I printed it out on the old dot matrix printer, you know, the one that goes. I printed that whole thing out, and I gave it to Cindy and Jesse, and they took it upstairs about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. They did not come down for dinner. I said, "Janet, leave them alone. Don't bother them." They came down at 10 o'clock at night.
Wow.
The pages were soaked with their tears. Dad, it was a good letter. We decided to join with you.
Wow.
They were the first converts as a result of the
Which one, if you're going to do what to do tomorrow, go to Dublin now, and then give you a bit of time for lunch, pick you up and bring you over to the church for 4 o'clock. This is the street at the top of which we are going to find the hotel. And all along here you'll find really good places to eat tonight. Just here on the left is Las Tapas de Lola. That's a very nice Spanish-style tapas restaurant. Bobo.
So we have arrived in Dublin.
A Middle Eastern restaurant there, Jerusalem.
We're very near our hotel here.
Bring back
We've just
memories for
arrived
some
in
people.
Dublin.
And of course, the hotel itself has a very nice
A little bit of religion or not, we'll see in the future. Lovely meeting you. Enjoy Dublin. Safe journey home, okay?
Thank you, brother.
Take care.
We got everybody settled into our Camden Court Hotel very quickly, gave them the rest of the evening off to enjoy the city. We're right in the heart of Dublin, full of restaurants and things to enjoy. And tomorrow we'll gather everybody again to go to another marvelous mass, to tour the city, and to end the day with a merry plowboys. You'll have to see this dinner dance and music show to believe it. Anyway, good night from Dublin, and we hope you join us again tomorrow.